Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another 2024 election-based live stream. Another day, I was going to say another something else, but another day we're closer to the election. What is it? It's fucking like 30 days away or some shit. 32 days away. I was born in a small town. I mean, that's like my hit song. I gotta be honest. I gotta stop saying that because I should write a song like that. But I can't. I was born in a small town. I was born in... I'm massaging myself. Do you think illegals will steal it? Come on, it's going to be very hard for them to do that this cycle. Did you see the recent report with the poll watchers? Trump's got like thousands of them now. He's hired. They got thousands of poll watchers. Mark, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? How's it going? Yeah. Glad you're there. Oh, yeah, that hurricane, man. It's going to be a while before those cities recover, those rural towns in North Carolina. I know the big Republican conspiracy now is that they're on... I mean, they are really not showing them a lot of love in terms of the supplies and things like that, but it's like, well, most of them are rural outside of Asheville. Could they be trying to suppress the vote by not repairing the infrastructure? I don't really think it's going to make much of a difference, honestly, but that's something that I've heard. Can you mod I'm from X? Oh, dude, are you the dude that messaged me about South Dakota? Not enough people talking about the dock strike. Yeah, you want to know the worst thing about the dock strike? It's going to be delayed. So they go on strike this week, but then we're going to start really feeling the brunt of it in the weeks to follow. It takes time for it. So they need to figure that out. It's going to be a big problem. I think I should go to the Butler rally, man. I really think I should. I mean, dude, I just make the same videos every day. It's like, I got to try and do something, try and entertain you guys. Daily Mail article, Georgia, 158K. Yeah, I know. I mean, there's been numbers like that all over the place. There was another thing about Arizona. I mean, I'm going to go through some of these videos, just react to them. I know there's a James O'Keefe thing with an MSNBC person, where he just admits that MSNBC is propaganda for Kamala. I mean, it's stuff that everyone already knew. They're only giving them $750. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, they reached a deal? Did that just happen? Because I didn't see that. If it just happened, it's got to be trending. Well, that's good that they reached a deal. Will crypto boom if Trump wins? I think it's gonna do very well in 2025 anyways, honestly, man.
And his son. What did you want President Zelensky to do about Vice President Biden and his son, Hunter?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just a follow-up of what I just asked you, sir.
Listen, you ready? We have the president of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked you, which
Did
was,
you hear
what
me?
did you want
Did you
him
hear
to
me?
Yes,
Ask
sir.
him a question.
I will, but
I've given you a long answer. Ask.
I guess they're taking clips when Trump was president, I guess. This is
He's doing enough to help the Harris campaign.
I mean, they're doing all they can.
Meet Basil Hamden, a writer and producer for MSNBC's weekend show, Iman. Basil also reveals that, quote, what her message of the day is their MSNBC's message of the day.
What have they done to help the Harris campaign?
Amplify her message. What her message of the day is their message of the day.
Hamden revealed that MSNBC is the Democratic Party's mouthpiece and is doing anything to get Kamala elected. Hamden says this news network is indistinguishable from the Democratic Party.
So is MSNBC just like doing whatever it takes to get Kamala elected?
Yes. It hammers home the point that I'm making, that
they always
this
get these
news
poor
network
single
is
dudes.
indistinguishable from the party.
Are they just the Democratic Party's mouthpiece?
Exactly.
MSNBC is the Democratic Party's mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Basil calls MSNBC viewers brainwashed and states that MSNBC made their viewers dumber over the years.
Viewers get mad at the guests or the host if the host were to criticize Democrats. They've made their viewers dumber over the years. I think brainwashing and dumbing down
It's bad.
Aggressive.
I get it.
helps Trump.
When she's delivering these messages now,
Yeah, but that's the typical echo chamber. I mean, you notice it everywhere with that type of stuff. If you criticize something, it becomes bad. You can't do that, depending on what your echo chamber is. Why is bro chilling with a girl? It seems he does have a weird, he's got a creepy smile, that dude, he does. I haven't seen anyone note Vance did not mention stolen valor or the Waltz family endorsement of Trump. I thought it was wise on both counts. He didn't. Yeah, I mean, I did mention that after the debate, to be fair. Him not talking about stolen valor. Well, there was also no mention of the, childless cat ladies, things like that, so. The people are always super creepy. That dude was just happy to be there, it looked like. He was ready to spill anything. Fox News is the only news. I mean, Fox News is just, it's just like, I guess it's a little bit better than MSNBC, but it's obviously right-wing bias. Joy, you see what Joy Reid said? She's like, liberals need to give Donald Trump a knuckle sandwich. Whoa. I don't think they want to give Trump a knuckle sandwich. I think they want to give him a bullet. I mean, that's why he's going to Butler, because of this. Another conspiracy. Well, I mean, that's obvious, though, that MSNBC is clearly a propaganda machine. Really starting to fall out of love with the NFL. I think there's bad quarterback play in the NFL, unfortunately. I don't know what happened. Maybe the defenses have gotten better, but it just seems like these quarterbacks are just their efficiency is so horrible. It's hard to watch. The difference between MSNBC and CNN is they disguise their partisanship under the name and truth. Well, I mean, CNN at least is a little bit less liberal, but yeah, they're still both bad. Trump's betting odds are basically tied with Harris's. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at this, it's basically 50-50 according to this. Really not much has changed other than Pennsylvania shifting slightly to Trump. 16% chance Trump wins every swing state. 18% chance Harris wins every swing state. Nevada's basically 50-50. Arizona and Georgia are the two states that look good for Trump. North Carolina is a slight Trump lean. Michigan is a slight Harris lean. Wisconsin is also a slight Harris lean. So that's kind of where we've been, like, I'd say the past week and a half, honestly. My theory on why Walz looked so confused was because he only prepared to be the nice guy and come off looking super nice. To be honest, dude, I think he's just a bad debater. He did not look comfortable at all. To me, it seemed like he was just trying to get through it. And he did get better as the night went on, but he was very uncomfortable. You think Mahomes is a Trump supporter? I mean, it wouldn't be surprising. His wife is. Why can't Waltz answer why he's friends with school shooters? Yeah, he really messed. He should have just owned up to it, but instead he tries to like squirrel his way out of answering stuff like that. It's very weird. No pun intended. Right, no pun intended with that. Do I have? I have all iOS, man. I have all iOS. I have an iPhone. I have 2 iPads. I have a iMac desktop. And then, but that, I don't really use I do use my iMac. My iMac is right here. I used to always use it because I needed it, but now I just pretty much only use my PC to record stuff. Anna Kasparian actually leave the left? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. Dude, these people, like, when they make a name for themselves and then they try and shift, I don't know if it's genuine. I mean, it does seem like she genuinely, but she's not going to say she likes Trump or she'd vote for Trump. I think she probably just wants to criticize. I mean, you give her credit for criticizing her own party. There's going to be a lot of people that are very pissed off. But it is, I mean, I guess give her credit. I don't know. I can tell you there's a 0% chance she sweeps all the swing states. Yeah, no, I agree. Her response to the hurricane has lost her North Carolina. That would be great news. Because North Carolina is supposedly a close state. I'm going to rip this thing off because I'm just sick of this thing. Dude, I can't even rip this off. Nick Adams calls every QB and coach he doesn't. Yeah, he's a troll, man. Is it true Saban is a Democrat? That's a bullshit rumor. That's been a rumor for a while that Saban's a Democrat. Well, everyone thinks Saban's going to run for, I don't know, governor or whatever, something. Because, I mean, he does have kind of the stature of a politician. He should have just said it's a gaffe. Yeah, I know. I don't know why he has to, like, prolong these things by... He acts weird when asked about things like that. He just can't answer. It's the same thing with him not being in China when he said he was. Am I going to the Butler rally? I should go to that, yeah. I'm not going to be streaming it, guys. It would be a video. Like, I would do a long video on it. But it's going to be a mess, I'm sure, man. I mean, I've been told by people that these rallies are a mess. They're impossible to get into. Maybe I could try and swing something to where I could get into it, though. I don't know. But you got to get there, like, I mean, people line up really early. The thing is, it's in like Butler's like a rural-ish town or whatever. But the problem is it's such a big rally with the assassination, you know, happening the last time he was there. Team Apple, I wish they weren't a woke company. Well, they pretty much all are woke, you know. They're pretty much all woke. But yeah, I mean, I guess Apple really doesn't innovate at all because there's no reason to. I mean, they just have the same phone every year. They slightly upgrade the screen and the battery, and the camera gets a very, very slight upgrade. But they just make the same phone every year. And they know how ridiculous it is, but they do it because that's you know, they make money off of it. Do you have voter registration numbers from Georgia? I think Republicans have Republicans have gained ground in Georgia. I don't know how much. The reason I know that is because I did look at like all 50 states, the voter registration, and the only states where Republicans didn't gain ground since 2020 was California and I think Massachusetts, maybe. Yeah, dude, that would be good for my channel. Dude, the thing is, they'll ask you to do an interview. Like, they just go around asking people. I'll just ask them to do an interview with me. I'll be presidential for Trump. I'll help Trump. What do you think the chances are of the election is a tie? Well, the chances are very low because predicting any, you know, like, oh, if I had to predict like a 269 tie, it's going to be low, but it certainly is not zero. And there is a realistic way. It would be Trump losing all the swing states he lost in 2020, but then just taking, I think it is Michigan, and it would be taking Michigan and Pennsylvania, and that would end in a tie, which is just involving the swing states, which all the swing states could go either way. So technically there are a few different concoctions. Harris has no chance. Oh, dude, I watched something with Obama. It was just so awkward, man. And I did show it. It was like Obama and Harris. Harris was like drunk. I mean, it's like, and I'm not even saying that to be funny. Wait, what is this?
You about to find out.
I'm speaking. John King admitting
the young voters compared to how President Biden did in 2020.
So some numbers, Anderson, to help with that question. Number one, just look at this choice for president. I want to stretch this out a little bit. Excuse me for turning my back. This is from a recent New York Times Siena poll. It shows Donald Trump and the vice president tied among voters aged 18 to 29. Joe Biden carried that group by 24 points in 2020 in the exit polls. From being on the ground, remember, when you poll a smaller subgroup in a poll, there's a bigger margin of error. I can't quite believe it's a tie from being on the ground several times in Michigan, but there's no question
really?
The vice president is doing better than President Biden was doing earlier this year, when a lot of young voters didn't want him to be the candidate anymore. But she's not doing as well as he did back in 2020. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a tie, but getting texts from Democrats panicked last night. I mean, Vance was just so good. Mac Baby. Wow, what a name. How are the ballot boxes affected where the storms hit? Any concerns? No. I don't think there's going to be any concerns. I know that's a big thing that Republicans are talking about. They're saying there's a slow response because they don't want those people in rural areas to vote. But I don't think it's going to be a big issue. I'm hopeful that it happened well before the election. I mean, remember, Sandy from 2012. Do you know if there is any more stadium renovations coming? MLB. I know St. Louis wants to do one. I know the Guardians have to finish theirs. I know the Orioles want to do one. IDK, how to feel about Pennsylvania and Arizona right now? I feel like illegals might. But I would say Arizona feels very good for Trump right now. Pennsylvania feels pretty good. It's a little bit closer, but I would say Arizona is pretty good. Here, dude, this is just, I mean, she's drunk.
So tell me about Joe and your relationship with Joe, and what do I need to know? Like, what's the thing about the ice cream? He loves ice cream. Tell me about that.
Well, listen, ice cream is big. Pasta with red sauce.
He's analyzing it.
He can go deep on that. He really does like those aviator glasses. He knows he looks good in them. But
so
Skibbity toilet Riz, really? Yeah, you know what? You're a brain rotter, aren't you? Arab Trump +1. Yeah, Obama, it seemed like he was like very uncomfortable in that situation. Some people have PTSD from a very flawed 2020 election. Yeah, well, I mean, that was also the timing of that election was really, really bad. I mean, it was just right up against the pandemic. It has to be different, man. It's going to be different. There's just different dynamics. Dude, look at this. He's literally groping the poor mascot. Dude, come on. Why is C-SPAN showing a video of this? This is just so awkward. Obama thinks I created a monster with Joe, and now his offspring. Come on. Yeah, Obama was very not happy. Voting for Trump in Texas. Bro's a total goofball. Walls. Yeah, he does these weird hand movements too. What about Lichtman and his prediction? What about Silver? I mean, it's whatever, man. I think if you look at the polls, I don't see. I mean, even Silver's got it like, what, 60-40, 58-42, something like that. I don't think it's necessarily catastrophic. I mean, I think based off of the polls, you would say Trump's the slight favorite. I mean, I've gone over this 100 times where the polls are basically tied right now. Now, because of the way they weight things, they're going to weight Republican pollsters down, so that's why they have Harris in the lead. But the problem is some of the pollsters they grade out to an A, they've been really wrong in 2020 and 2016. Yeah, Jank is going to have another meltdown. He needs to have it for the views. The views have got to come in when he gets the meltdown. 297 for Trump. I mean, it's possible, man. I mean, I've got it at 312 right now. This would be the map right here. Maybe I should give Jill Stein something. I don't know. Who wins the World Series? Probably the Dodgers. I don't know. Trump going to win easily. And we're going to drink liberal tears. It'll be a glorious night on election night, yes. Trump got to be getting 300. Yeah, I think he'll get over 300. I think he'll get over 300. I mean, his polling numbers are significantly better than they were in 2016, and he got like 306 in 2016. So he won all these states except Nevada in 2016. Why don't you think Harris is using the hurricane to get more votes? They've botched that whole thing completely. They just botched the handling of that. The problem was when that was happening, Biden was on vacation. And it's like, it's kind of like the country forgot Biden was even the president. So the dynamic of it was really weird when he came back. He's like, surprise, I'm going to send stuff. And Trump, even before Biden came into it, was saying like he was going to help the people. And then they tried gaslighting and saying Trump's doing it for political gain. It was like 3 days in between where Biden said nothing because he was dormant in friggin' Delaware for like the 90th straight day. They caught him with his hands down his pants. They're like, where's Biden? Oh, he's in Delaware. And then Trump's like, fuck it, I'll help these people. You're a big bad racist. You're just doing it for yourself. It's like, oh, I can't win then. Obama basically told him he was retarded in the 13 Keys video. Well, yeah, I made that because so many people asked me about that shit, and I just wanted to, I mean, it didn't even help. To be honest, dude, I wanted to make that video so people would stop asking me. It might have made it worse. I think it made it worse. I mean, the dude was spouting. The dude said if they got rid of Biden, they would lose. So they got rid of Biden, but now he thinks they're going to win. I mean, listen, they're just, he's a shill. But it's like, you could be a shill, that's fine, but when you kind of hide behind some type of so-called non-biased formula, when it's not non-biased, that's the problem. I don't want to hear rigged election conspiracy theories. Yeah, I mean, I don't like, answering those questions because, like, what am I supposed to say about that stuff, Last Mandu, what's up, man? Dave Pinkman and TYT already made videos admitting Trump may win, and the comments are mad at them. Well, I mean, that surprises me that I'm sure they still think Kamala's going to win, though. Steve, the election is beginning to resemble 1980. Broke big for Reagan down the stretch. Yeah, I mean, I think you could argue that Trump could get to 325. You could argue, maybe 326 if you throw on the district, but you could certainly argue that. I don't know about Minnesota. I think Minnesota would be really hard. But Trump, it could become a blowout. I mean, I think 312 is a blowout, but then you get just crazy because then you're talking about Virginia and Minnesota. Are we flipping Virginia? I mean, I don't know, man. I think there's an okay chance of it. There's like a 25% chance, honestly. I got this new chair I can swivel around now, man. I had to get used to it. I had this this old wood chair that I had been using. I got this new chair now. I was sweating my ass off putting it together. Who do you have winning Arizona? Trump by about 3.5. He's also changed his 2000. I know he changed like multiple predictions. That's the other problem. Trump wins popular vote by 2 or 3. Well, that would be crazy. I would say Trump possibly wins the popular vote by about a point because I agree with you. The popular vote's going to be a lot better for Trump because of states like New York, New Jersey, heavily switching. Trump taking 10 or 11 points from him. The thing is, if I go to that Butler rally, man, I know that's going to be like 100K views at least if I do that. But it's like, I mean, I would have to dedicate a day for that. We actually have to win this because if they win, they'll let tens of millions of more migrants. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, they will. Their border policy doesn't even fucking make sense. They're going to be hard on the border. There's already 15 million illegals in the country, and you're giving them amnesty. How? You've rewarded them. You say you're going to stop illegal immigration. It's already happened under your leadership. Are you going to fix it? No, you're not going to. They're admitting they're not fixing it. They're not deporting people. These are all their illegals. They're not deporting any of them. This is all total bullshit. I hope people don't fall for it. They're going to be hard on the border now, yeah. they're going to be hard. I mean, it's impossible. Their policy says they're not deporting any of the people they let in illegally. No, wait, you saw a Trump +1 in Florida? I think you were talking about that Trump +2. I think you're talking about Trump +2. You're from Akron, Ohio, the home of LeBron. Mac. What is the difference between 2020 and now? Can they still cheat without C19 3 AM ballot deliveries, 1 week results till we know? Yeah, I think it's different in terms of we're gonna likely know the winner. They might not call it, but we'll likely know the winner by 2 or 3 a.m. I would say. But it's not going to be anything like the 2020 election, I don't think. Because the midterms, they counted faster in the midterms as well. I mean, if it's like the 2020 election, there's huge problems. There's no way, because it's a completely different situation. There's no COVID. I mean, it has to be different. It has to be faster. There's just, in 2020, you had the crazy thing. And unfortunately, when you, like with COVID, and a lot of companies have done this, where it's like, COVID happens, they change the way they operate, but then they never go back. And that's like the election. It's like, we always had the election decided. It was always decided on election night. Then COVID happens, and now they're like, oh, wait, now it's 2024 and COVID is over, but we're not going to go back to the same way it was when it was always decided on election night. So it's like, well, I mean, it was always decided. Just because COVID was there, then it was different, but now COVID's gone, so it should be the same as it was, right? But that's not how it is. Trump will win Florida by 10. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, what's going on with Iran? That's a mess. The assassination plot. More eyes on them this time. Cheating will be harder. Yeah, much harder. And plus, there's not. It's a charade. In 2020, there were ballots flying everywhere. I mean, they literally said at 3 a.m. we're going home to sleep. Are you going to stream until 3 a.m.? Well, I'll stream until it's known who the winner is, which I think will be like 2 a.m., honestly. Well, I mean, in 2016, it was like 1:30, honestly. So it might not even be that crazy. It might be like 2 a.m. Eastern. Man, I'll tell you what, if you're on the West Coast, that's like got to be the best for streaming on election night, bro. You could be done with the stream by midnight. That's crazy. Maybe even 11:30. Do you think there is a possibility Minnesota? I mean, there's a possibility of it, ZC. It's not likely. I think Virginia would be over Minnesota, but that's just my speculation based on Youngkin and the polls being slightly closer. There's not a ton of polling out of Minnesota, especially recently, like within the past 2 weeks, there hasn't been a lot of polling out of there. How in the hell isn't Pennsylvania? Yeah, Pennsylvania is literally admitting they're saying they're not going to have results on election night. They tried to change the way they counted, but apparently there was a stalemate and it didn't end up happening. So Pennsylvania has the same rules in terms of the way they count as they did in 2020. Will I be hosting a party for election night? I mean, it's tough because I'm going to be streaming. I host a party. I can't really talk, I can't really leave the computer. Are you nervous about the election? I'm really not that nervous about it. I think it's going to be more of a coming together, like, when you're right on something like like this, it's an epic moment, man. When you get proven right, it's going to be a really good time. You're a rare person that lives in the Central Time Zone. I think a lot of people live in the Central Time Zone. That's Chicago, brother. Please do the War Room idea. Yeah, I'm going to need my new computer for that. But yeah, I'm going to try and set it up. Dude, you know what? New York Times, hopefully the New York Times has their ticker. Hopefully she has the ticker. Why is mainstream media still saying Kamala is the clear favorite? Well, they must be cherry-picking polls if they're saying that. They're cherry-picking polls if they say she's the clear favorite. Or they're just looking at popular vote, which makes no sense. Oh, she's going to win the popular vote by a point. That means she's likely going to lose then. Yeah, so dude, I thought you talk about early voting. So this is the thing that you can look at for early voting. But this stuff, it lacks context. It really does. Like, you could see, this is Florida, Democrats at 31, Republicans at 27. But I will warn people about early voting. There is so much that we don't know. The only thing I will say about early voting that would be positive for Trump is if the rural early, like, but even that, because this is the problem. Trump told people not to do the early voting in 2020, so a ton of people didn't do it. Now people are doing it. And so the question is, well, is that more enthusiasm for Trump, or is that just Trump now embracing early voting and telling people to do it early? So it's very hard to understand the proper context on a lot of those early vote numbers. That's what I'll say on that. I mean, maybe it is good. Like, you can compare it to 2020 and the Republicans are doing better, but there's a number of different variables as to why that is. How different do you think Kamala administration would? I don't think it's I don't think it's much different at all, man. I mean, Kamala has no leg to stand on. She has no power. They installed her into that position. She doesn't have any actual organic movement, at least like Obama had a movement. Like, Kamala doesn't have any of that. She's beholden to the people that put her there, and it wasn't the voters. That's what's even more scary. Who do you see being possible nominees in 2028? Well, certainly Vance. I mean, if Trump wins, it's going to be Vance very likely with how well he did during the debate. And then you're going to have Newsom try. You're going to have Whitmer try. You're going to have AOC probably. She's probably too young, though, for them. Too liberal still for that party. Sorry, what is the chance Trump wins Arizona? Well, and betting odds have Trump like a 63% chance in Arizona by a likely margin by like 3 points. I think he's got a good chance to win it by around 2.5 to 3. Even Real Clear Politics says Trump will win Pennsylvania. Yeah, I mean, Real Clear Politics says Trump up. I mean, it's pretty remarkable how Real Clear Politics, which really has not liked Trump, has him up in a lot of these swing states when you look at them. I got this nice new ad blocker. Thank the fucking Lord. They should really have the electoral map just by itself because it's so important. Mac, how does Pennsylvania have no results on election night while California can have results right away? California. Well, so Pennsylvania does have results on election night. The problem is Pennsylvania is way closer in terms of margin than California. If Pennsylvania had the same voter margin, they'd be able to call it right away like California. But, I mean, they count votes in Pennsylvania. There are votes that they count, the day of votes. They just have a policy where they can't count mail-in votes until, I think, the day of votes come in or some bullshit like that. And they tried to change it, but it was a stalemate or some bullshit from what I read. But, I mean, dude, you look at this. It's very good for Trump. I mean, I think this is a tie unless it's still a tie in Pennsylvania, which is good news because you've got Biden plus 6.5. Michigan, Harris plus 0.7. Compare that to where Biden was plus 5.7. Biden only won it by 2 points. Wisconsin, Harris plus 0.8. Biden was plus 0.6. The Rust Belt looks very good just doing comparisons. Imagine being addicted enough to gamble on politics. Yeah, I mean, I don't really gamble on anything personally. But even gambling on politics is like, I mean, there's limits to even how much you can bet on that shit. That's the other thing. I mean, I would be interested, honestly, maybe a Trump popular vote. If he's got like a 25% chance in terms of odds, that might be interesting. Sean, I appreciate it. Secretary of Liberal Cope. It's going to be glorious on election night, I'll say that, man. It's going to be a very nice election night. Election day coverage, election night. I mean, there's a lot of people talking about me getting a girlfriend. It's a bit strange. I know people want me to do an update video on my life. Yeah. Listen, I'll do a Q&A on it or something. Arizona feels like a guarantee for Trump. Yeah, have you seen liberals on Twitter? They're rage quitting. They're like, oh, Arizona's racist. Trump, Harris doesn't need Arizona. And she doesn't, but it's just funny because it is technically a swing state. You don't predict elections based on polls. Well, it's a number of different things you use, but polls are like you can use polls, but you have to compare them to something. That's the problem. Do you think Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania is still the easiest path? Well, I mean, listen, the reason that's the easiest path is because, look, I understand why people are saying that because it's only 3 states. But the reason people are saying that is because they have the most electoral votes. That's why. It's not necessarily, it's like, because look, 19, 16, 16, Michigan's 15, 10, 10, 11, 6. So yes, 19, 16, 16, winning 3 states and getting there, that's by far the easiest path because you don't have to win 4 states. That's the only reason why it's the easiest path. But I will agree that Georgia is a Republican state. Trump has won North Carolina both of the last 2 times. Those check off as states that Trump should win. Pennsylvania is the 50-50, but the polls have been amazing when you compare them to 2020. So, I mean, the reason that that's deemed the easiest is because that's the only concoction involving swing states where it's only 3 states that are needed. Every other concoction is 4 because of the electoral votes. Can I become a mod, please? Oh, you messaged me. I gotcha, man. I appreciate the message. Can we get a picture? Well, there should be a lot of pictures if I go to that, to be honest. Is the Butler rally in the same exact spot it was? I'm hoping it is. That'd be sweet. Will the election be called within 12 hours? Well, what do you mean? 12 hours from what? Like 12 hours from polls closing on the East? Well, I'm hoping it'll be... Well, I don't know if it'll be officially called, but I think we'll know who wins. Have you always been a fast talker? I do talk pretty quickly when I do analysis, yes. Do you think JD Vance has positive likability? It has to be at least 50-50, man. At least 50-50. I mean, he was so great during that debate. Only thing worried about is the hurricanes. Yeah, there could be. Who knows? There could be another one. The sit down, big fan of your football content. I appreciate that, man. There's been some people that are a little bit not happy with, me talking about politics and stuff and things. And there's a lot of political videos. I agree. Really, I only do what do I do? 2 college football videos, 3 college football videos a week now. I mean, dude, 2 years ago, I would do 12 a week. It's pretty crazy. But, you have to, it's, a lot of it's, views and things like that. And, I like college football. I do the predictions every week, so. Panthers Kingdom. If you vote for Kamala, you're basically a Honda, Ridgeline, fake. Yeah. Well, there's always going to be people that are liberal. Ever since I started watching your vids at 1.5 yeah, dude, I could never do that. I could never watch any video at 2 times speed. It's something about, I don't know, people say, well, you're dumb, you can't process it. I don't know, man. It's just the way people talk, the way it distorts their voice. I don't like it. Colorado is done for? You mean Deion Sanders' team or the state in general? I think you're talking about the state. Yeah, there's been a lot of people moving to Colorado. Can Trump win without Pennsylvania? Well, of course he can. He can very easily win without Pennsylvania. Harris technically could as well, but in this scenario, obviously he could win without Pennsylvania. He'd be at 293. He could even win without Wisconsin as well, but he would need Michigan, which would be it would be surprising. That would bring him down to 268. See, that's the problem with that district in Nebraska. That's annoying. Maybe do something like that. Is there ever a possibility of New Mexico flipping in 2028 there would be, because I mean, if Trump loses New Mexico by 7 points, that's within. I mean, it would be a pretty big flip, but it's not impossible. The only thing is like states, when it's like a 12 or 13 point loss, the state flipping the next cycle is basically impossible. But Trump's going to lose the state by what, 6-7 points maybe? November 8th, 2000, Gore Bush wasn't called till, well, that was a little bit different. That was because the election was absurdly close and it was based off of the Florida results. Could that happen during this go around? I mean, they're saying it's going to be a very close election, but that was specific. That was not based off of like, oh, they're taking slow to count the votes like that. Like that's what happened in 2020. It was just the counting of the votes was slow. That was something where the election was very close, and a state specifically that decided the election was extremely close, and they had to recount it several times. I don't think that's going to happen. It seems unlikely, so let's hope it doesn't. Twizzlers or Airheads, man. I don't know. The Airheads, the Airheads will pack a punch. They got like a lot of sugar or some shit in them. The Twizzlers, they're more digestible. Actually, it's just like you're ingesting tar with either one. But dude, with Airheads, you're just fucking eating just straight tar. I mean, I like it. I mean, I used to have Airheads sometimes. I don't think anyone goes out of their way to get Airheads. You get them like in a Halloween bag or some bullshit like that, maybe. My Halloween costume? I don't know, man. Did you see the FBI agent on Dr. Phil said Walz had deceptive body language? I didn't see that, no. But, I mean, his body language was all over the place. Do you know Lester from Pound Politics? I don't know that. I do know Ben. I think everyone knows who Ben Shapiro is. What do you think the October surprise will be? I mean, I don't know. Probably something to do with Harris. There'll be some type of thing that comes out. Maybe mid-October, I would say. They're probably going to release it a little bit earlier because people vote earlier. But something with Harris mistreating her staff and her campaign staff. I think that's the rumor. But, I mean, there might be some other made-up bullshit. I don't know. About Trump. Maybe something about Iran. Chances Virginia flips. Youngkin has reshaped the state. Well, no, I agree. I think there's about a 25% chance. I think it'll be like 3.5 points. And then, yeah, if it like 2028, I think it's going to be a pure swing state. My little brother wants you to do more Lego building videos. Haha. That's, I can appreciate that. I don't mean to sound this like a dick, but I see Harris supporters on the comment section, and I truly don't understand how they are that ignorant and stupid. Well, it's just typical Democrat bullshit. I mean, people are always going to think like that. It's a major party. And of course, they think they're going to win. Kamala sex tape him coming. I feel like it's not going to happen since everyone's saying it, but who knows? Maybe something related to it. Maybe something about her fucking someone to move up or something that we haven't heard about, or like some type of thing where they'll present it like, oh, this is how she slept her way to the top, and there'll be like a whole story on it or something. They might try and do something like that. I don't know. And they'll interview someone or something. Iran is 48 to 72 hours away from having nuclear capabilities. That's just great. That's what we need in the Middle East. More nukes. What microphone do I use? I use a Yeti. It's basically, I would recommend everyone get a Yeti, but I mean, I bought another one for like one that was more, but I like the Yeti a little bit more, honestly. You like Harris supporters in the chat? I haven't seen a single Harris supporter in this chat tonight. I mean, they will come in sometimes. The problem is when they start like spam commenting. I guess they really can't do that now. Dude, my nose is like itching. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you guys see me touching my nose constantly. It's like itching. I'm not like the outside of my nose. Should I bet a liberal on the election? What should I do, like a $500 bet with someone? There's got to be a liberal that is willing to do a $500 bet with me on the election. I'm fine with doing that. Maybe add a little content to it. But they have to kind of be known. Like, I'm not going to do it with a random person on you know, they got to have some clout. I see a lot of those kids doing debates on TikTok. Maybe I should go on TikTok. But I don't know how that... Why would you want to debate on TikTok? It doesn't make any sense. Isn't it like it's not landscape. I feel like YouTube's better to debate. We need people like you and others to help turn blue states like Maryland red. Need to change to favor law-abiding citizens and police. Yeah, well, I don't think that's going to happen with Maryland, man. Maryland is far gone. I mean, Maryland's like a 26-point edge for Harris, but I could say New Jersey. I could see New Jersey getting closer. Oh, dude, those emojis. Oh, damn. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. What was it? Like some fucking bullshit about her saying you fell out of a coconut tree or some shit. So cringy. YouTube and X are the best for live streams. I've never done a live stream on X. Really only YouTube. I feel like YouTube is the place for live streams, but no, you know what? I guess Twitch is actually the place for live streams. Does DraftKings have election odds? I don't know. I haven't been on DraftKings in a while. Have you heard about 98K illegals allowed to vote in Arizona? What does that mean? Is that like legit 98,000 illegal? I think, you know, I mean, I don't know how to interpret that. If New York flipped, it would be absurd. It would just be ridiculous if New York flipped. How confident are you, 1 to 100, that Trump Vance wins? It's, I mean, it's just like 95, honestly, dude. Mets or the Brewers? I'd like to see the Mets. I think the Mets are a little bit more fun. I don't know. Just donated a Red Cross. Wouldn't it be fraud to have no money on FEMA disaster relief? Sucks my tax dollars go to illegals in 2 useless wars. Well, apparently they said they're giving $750 to people that desperately need it. That's what they said. But yeah, I've been seeing the tweets about the amount of money they're donating to the people versus, you know, Ukraine and all that stuff. I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but it is bad. I think Lego already went woke. They've got a set that's like everyone is awesome. I don't know if you've seen that set. Go take a look at that. Yeah, New York is not going to flip, guys. Maybe Trump gets it within 12, 11, something like that. What state flips red first, New York or Oregon? Well, I mean, technically Oregon, you would think, is closer in terms of the polls than New York. But I don't know if it would actually flip. They have no money for hurricane relief because all the money is going to the... Yeah, but I'm not sure if those two things are necessarily overlap. FEMA put all their money towards housing illegal aliens. I feel like there's a different emergency relief system for a natural disaster. Do you think liberals will threaten Trump if he wins? Oh, they'll threaten him no matter what. I was happy Detroit won. I mean, everyone was sick of seeing the Astros. The Astros made the ALCS like 7 straight times or whatever, some bullshit like that. The Dems will soon discover the illegals are God-fearing Catholics. Some of the illegals that come over, I mean, I guess it just depends on where they go. Their influence. A lot of them go to New York. A lot of them go to very liberal places. That's why the popular vote's such bullshit, because all these illegals come in and then they become legal and then they vote Democrat, and it's like, oh my god, the Democrats are so much more popular. No, they're all imported immigrants. There will be riots in big cities if Trump wins. I think it just depends on the way it happens. You love it when I was born. Sometimes you gotta have a softer voice. I was born in a small town. Man, I've got a beautiful voice, I know. The Jack Smith. Yeah, dude, Jack Smith is he's like a liberal, like, bitch boy wannabe. Like, he's a weirdo, man. He we always have to see Jack Smith in the news like once every month, and he's like a little gnat. He just won't stop. Yeah, no, I know, dude. I was gonna do a video talking about the popular vote and how there was a poll that came out that they wanted to eliminate the Electoral College, but it's not worth it. It's total bullshit. As much as I want to believe the election is going well, I get the feeling that we could be looking at another red wave. Well, you know what, man? Let me actually show you something. Let's take a look at the actual what happened. Where is it? Pollster scorecard. All right, so this is the scorecard of the pollsters. This is 2022, so you can see they did overfavor Republicans, but I don't think it's anything crazy. I mean, you had some of the polls that had it 50-50. 3 different polls had it 50-50, meaning it was very accurate. You had 4 pollsters overrate Democrats, and you had like 8 pollsters overrate Republicans. Compare that to 2020. Compare that to 2016. So, I mean, to me, it's really not comparable. I mean, yes, they overrated Republicans slightly in 2022, but it's just not even close. I mean, this is absurd. I mean, most of these are 100% error favoring Democrats. Look at all these. 100%, like there's 7 of them alone, meaning all of their polls overrated Democrats. Every single one of their polls, all their swing state polls. Is Arizona a lock? Well, I don't think Arizona is a total lock, but it's definitely... Arizona is the one swing state that seemingly is turning into like a lean Trump, I would say. Do you think the Midwest will shift red in the future? I think the Midwest already should be very red, honestly. I mean, I hope it does. But I mean, to be fair, like, you would think that Wisconsin would be... I would think Wisconsin would be like an 8-point victory for Trump, but it's not. I would think Minnesota would be like a 3-point victory. I mean, I understand Minneapolis and stuff, but Wisconsin, I would think... I know there's Madison and Milwaukee, it's hard. Kamala, Willie Brown, deepfakes. Yeah, there'll probably be some of that. Look at 2016. Well, 2016 was similar in terms of it. 2016 technically was better. I think they were better in 2016, believe it or not. Those are all A+. Yeah, all the ones at the bottom are A+. Average error, so the best ones are at the top. Oh, there's Monmouth. There's Survey US. Oh, there's YouGov. Our good friends at YouGov, the A+ pollster. Dude, I was watching, I don't know who the fuck he was debating, but Destiny was debating someone. Dude, the liberal argument with immigration is so fucking hilarious. He was trying to argue that we don't know the exact number of illegals. So your argument is, I mean, that you can't even, like, what? So you're saying that we can't even debate because we don't know the, like, they have literally no argument with illegal immigration. They have fucked the country up so bad at the border. They don't have an argument. Their new argument is like, we don't know the exact number of illegals that have come into the country. They could have been coming in from elsewhere. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? This is ridiculous. You won't even admit illegal immigration is a problem. What are we doing here? Cook Political is they've been horrible. They've been terrible. Marquette, they've been terrible. Oh, the 13 keys again. Not Bloomberg. Wait, I don't even see Bloomberg on here. Thank you for the stream. Music, yes. Dude, I know. Well, you see what's come out about Emhoff now. They tried to say, what did Jen Psaki say? He's the beacon of the new age masculinity. And he cheats with a fucking nanny. And then there's reports that he hit his wife or something. We haven't seen a good. You know what, dude? I want to see if some of these polls. I need to find the polls from Biden versus Trump. That's what'll tell us the really bad pollsters. Like, give me the Biden Trump polls. You know what you can go to? I think you can go to it. Like, no, I don't want to look at that. It's the House. God, what would it might just be a general. No, it might be in a swing state. Trump versus Biden. I want to see if there's any, like... Well, I guess Bloomberg did switch it. Dude, this is so crazy, man. Trump was up by 5 points. Very sad. I guess that's what happens. Show us your cat. My cat's probably sleeping somewhere. Dude, my cat just keeps... He just keeps following me. Psaki is just a Democratic shill, but it's funny how she would say stuff like that after the allegations that dude has. Girlfriend it was? All right. I've seen the Iranian hack Trump personal emails in a sexual nature. What the hell? They have sexual emails of Trump? I highly doubt that. Flip Ohio green. Maybe purple. Maybe Cornell wins it. Yeah, there might be, like, they might be saving videos of Kamala when she was 30 with Willie Brown. It could also be something like that. Kamala finds the 14th key at Willie Brown's house. From the source is Laura Loomer. Dude, Laura Loomer, it's just, when you say everything is a breaking story, it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. I mean, how do we know what to look at? It just doesn't make any sense. Trump famously does not email. Well, I think it would have been someone else's and then they leaked the stuff from Trump, but I don't know. No, I mean, I don't know what they got on him in terms of hacking his fucking campaign. But it always happens to Trump. It's like Obama spied on Trump's campaign. Now you've got this. Do you think women are generally less educated in politics? Well, it depends what type of education you mean. Women do go to college more, but you could argue that enables more groupthink and less actual self-reflection on your own views. But women do vote more than men. You would think it would be the opposite with men. I mean, when it comes to politics, it seems like it's still dominated by men. I don't know. Maybe I know Kamala and Hillary and stuff, but yeah, that's what I heard, Matthew. The port strike is over. I mean, maybe I should just take a look and see if this is actually over. They definitely had they definitely had an incentive to ending this. Why is Liz Cheney trending? Because she's campaigning with Kamala. Who cares about this woman? I mean, it's just stupid war hawk. All she wants to do is shoot missiles at people.
Well, Liz Cheney lost for Congress. She was terrible. Liz Cheney is a stupid war hawk. All she wants to do is shoot missiles at people. I really think it hurt.
How would pardoning Hunter help Harris? Hunter Biden? I don't know. I think Hunter's a big player with it. Remember when Hunter was running the show? There was a rumor. Thanks for the video. Yeah, no problem, man. Tagged you in Twitter about something. I'll take a look at it, man. DeSantis sent the National Guard to the ports. DeSantis is making some power moves, I'll be honest. Well, yeah, the women with abortion, it's a huge thing. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to get an accurate actual answer on the most important issues. But even CNN admits the two most important issues, neither of them are abortion, it's the economy and immigration. What state do I live in? Ohio. Liberals don't go outside except for the summer of 2020. Oh my God. Imagine this headline. They used FEMA disaster funding for illegal immigrants. So they actually used the money that was allocated, because I was saying there's no way they can do that. But this article is saying they actually did it. They used money that was allocated for disaster relief. $750 to hurricane victims. I mean, the whole situation's been botched the way they've handled it. It goes back to Biden. It goes back to the United States not having a president. We don't have a president. So when something like that happens and it's like 3 days later and Trump finally stands up and says something, I mean, it's because you know, if we actually had a president, he would be doing press conferences. He would be doing briefings on the situation and talking about it. And we don't have a president though. So, and then they guess, and then they all get angry. Like, oh my God, Trump is using this for a photo op. He's using this to get votes. We don't have a president. I mean, this is the guy is on the beach in Delaware, and it's like, even if he gets up, he's so compromised because of how old he is. There's nothing going on. Ginger Lives Matter protest. We are a minority group. Mike DeWine, he's like milquetoast, you know, like Mike DeWine. He was a star in 2020, I'll tell you that. Can't Trump sign an executive order on day one saying all voters require ID or proof of citizenship ensures fair elections? Well, definitely if Trump gets in, he's going to use his executive authority to do changes as much as he possibly can. I mean, I'm not sure how much actual power he has just by himself in terms of doing stuff. But if they get the House and the Senate, it's going to be easier to pass stuff like that. And then that should fix it, honestly, or at least make it a lot more safe. If all you need is Trump to get back into the office, to the White House, and then you get the Senate and the House, or even just the Senate. Why aren't I seeing more Trump social media ads? I mean, are you in a swing state or not? Did the Fox ticker on the video? I don't know. I'll look at that. The Liz Cheney video?
On the campaign.
Melania Trump defends reproductive rights in new book. I mean, I haven't read her book. I would have to say that. I mean, Trump's been a lot more hands off with abortion because it's such a bad issue. So it doesn't really necessarily surprise me. Vance or Tulsi for 2028. I think Tulsi has to be like a Republican for longer. Or I'm not even sure if she is a Republican right now, if she's an independent, but I think she would have to be a Republican for longer. She could be a VP though. You like Vance, Gabbard? Yeah, that would be a good ticket. You would think. I mean, we're speculating. We don't know how Vance is going to be viewed in 2028 though. Dude, did you see you see the video? I don't even know why you would even go into frickin' dude, Costco is such a fucking hellhole. I'm sorry. It is so bad. You got to see this video why are you in line? Just go home. You're going to friggin' sit here for 40. There's a line from both sides to get in at 10 a.m. that goes to the end of the store. Dude, you cannot go into Costco and find it's always crowded. Costco is always crowded. They do a good job with their tire service, though. I'll be honest. They do a good job with their tire service. You know, I went into Costco once with my mom's Costco card. They yelled at me. They're like, yo, you know, you're not her. It's my mom. I don't understand the issue, but they got really angry about that. You're in Wyoming. Yeah, Trump's not going to spend ad dollars there. Dems will totally block everything if they win the House. Well, I think if Trump wins, even if they win the House, it's going to be such a slim majority. I mean, obviously, it would be a lot easier if Republicans swept. Costco overrated. Well, Costco's got all those huge TVs, man. They got huge TVs there. We got a Costco like back in 2011. I think they put it up, and when I was younger, going to Costco was a lot better, but now I don't know what happened to Costco. It's just a hub. I mean, they're all getting like toilet paper and shit. Like, what? Can't you just get that on Amazon, honestly? Can you not just fucking order toilet paper with Amazon Prime? I don't know. You don't need dude, they do have good pizza. I used to get their pizza. They got like a nice smoothie as well. Vivek as Ohio senator. Yeah, apparently I think governor is what he was talking about in a podcast. There was a straw poll on who Ohio voters would want for governor, and Vivek won by like 30% or something. That's what it was. Thoughts on, you don't arrive. Thoughts on Nick Fuentes? I was watching his debate last night against that liberal bitch kid. I don't know, man, but I'm trying to keep my ad stuff. Costco has good hot dogs. Well, it's very, very low price. I'm in Atlanta. I'm 17, and do you think I can vote because voter IDs? I don't know. You can't vote if you're 17, man. Thoughts on good presidential nominees for any? Oh, you mean like 2028 presidential nominees for Democrats? You're saying? I don't know, man. Republicans are recommending 10 nominees. It's gonna be like fucking independents. Like I'm gonna say independent people. I don't know who's like a good solid liberal. Well, this is the problem. It's all gaslighting because the liberals will be like, "Oh, Adam Kissinger, he has Republican values, but he stands for something." It's just all bullshit. So I don't know. I mean, a good Democratic nominee who I would want to, who I could live with being president. I mean, maybe there's someone out there that I could think about. It's hard, but then they'd be just classified as like an independent. I don't think I could think of one. The Rumble kick political space with Tate Fuentes, Nico Aiden Ross. That's Fresh and Fit and Destiny. Yeah, I think they just go on each other. I mean, because it's Kick like non-censorship and stuff. That's Kick is like a Twitch, but they're a little bit less stringent. I think Rumble, it's just hard, man. I think Rumble is media just the user experience, the interface is really bad. I don't know how Rumble is so bad, but you look at something like Odyssey, and Odyssey is at least decent. Costco lines are due to the fears of the well. Are you talking about the strike that was just fixed? Because I think that's what it was, because that made national news, and then they were there the next day. The longshoreman strike. Josh Shapiro. I feel like Shapiro would kind of melt down, honestly. Like, Shapiro looks... You know, I think it's kind of similar to Glenn Youngkin. I know everyone likes Youngkin, but Youngkin on a national level, I don't know. I mean, everyone has these rose-colored glasses because he hasn't, you know... A national level is a lot different. You take a lot more hits on a national level. If the election was Obama versus Hillary, the two demigods colliding, unstoppable. I mean, Obama would win. Obama would win. I would, personally, I'm with her. Hashtag I'm with her. You should play the political process game. I never heard of that political process, or you mean political compass? Yeah, dude, I'll have to do a day after stream or video or something. Pete Buttigieg. I don't know why Pete Buttigieg was trending today, but he was randomly trending. I was like, get this dude the fuck out of here. Come on. Do you have any money on Polymarket? I don't have any money now, but I will take a look at the odds. I'll take a gander. Like, sometimes there are interesting things, like interesting props. It's mainly based on, like, what is this Eric Adams stuff? Eric Adams out as mayor. I mean, people actually bet on this. That's the crazy thing. Trump trials, Hunter Biden, will he get pardoned? 23% chance. This is like a 99% chance. Come on. Oh, he's kissing him. Oh, God. Yeah, it's going up. Would Obama hit 350 electoral votes against Trump? Don't be disrespectful. Swift 2028. Yeah, she probably will run. She's a clown. Yeah, Swift Kelsey. Kelsey will be the little bitch boy as the VP. Wait, what is it called? First Gentleman? Oh my God. First Gentleman. You want to talk about a soy boy? You're a first gentleman? Oh, come on. We got to stop that. They agreed to a 90-day contract. Yeah, well, you know what? A lot of that probably was influence from Biden and from the Democrats. They probably like, get this shit done. We can't deal with this shit this close to the election, because the administration that's in power would be blamed for shit like that if there were shortages. Yeah, we heard about the Doug Emhoff, the stuff. Yeah, that was kind of like the story today, I guess. Crazy she'd actually get votes. Taylor Swift. Well, yeah, with all the liberals behind her, she'd get votes for sure. Thoughts on Doug Emhoff? Hypocrite. And they just got done saying he's the new model of positive male masculinity. And now all this shit's got to come out. I mean, this is just pathetic. Do you watch Charlie Kirk? Not really. I mean, I've seen some of his stuff where he, you know, like the I guess viral clips I'll see and things like that. How much does Trump win by? Well, I would say it's like 312 to 226 or 306 to 232, whether or not you think Nevada. I mean, they literally got a friggin' nice little kiss there from his daddy right there. That's beautiful. What will Trump say during the North Carolina town hall? When is the North Carolina town hall? Maybe I should live stream that. Who the hell agrees to a 63% raise? Yeah, well, they were offered... Well, that is kind of funny. So they did compromise in the middle. They were offered a 50% raise. They wanted a 77%, so they, I guess, bent in the middle. Will Charlie Kirk run in 2020? I doubt it. I think he's actually pretty young, too. I remember him being younger. Like, I thought he was like 37 or 8, but I think he's younger than that. Have you watched the video, that C-SPAN voter who called out black voters worshiping Obama in 2010? No, I haven't seen that. Yeah, C-SPAN, you can call into C-SPAN. I just realized that during the debate, before the debate. Honestly, never cared for... Well, I mean, people were kind of clowning on Kirk when Vivek was with him because Vivek was just so much better with, I guess, communicating with younger people and trying to change their minds. I mean, Charlie Kirk just tries to own them, which I think is entertaining, but dude, he did that thing where it was like 1 versus 20. Those were some fucking feisty liberals, man. Jesus. Do you watch Steven Crowder? I don't. I mean, guys, there's only so many hours in the day, but I mean, Steven Crowder, I think he's not even on YouTube anymore, right? Go to the town hall. Well, I wouldn't go to a North Carolina town hall. Maybe if there was one in Pennsylvania because it's close enough, which I'm sure there probably will be another one. Trump's been having these town halls. They're not that hard to get in. Well, they probably are very hard to get into, but normally town halls, there's only like 20 people, like 50 people there, but now he's having these town halls in arenas. Don Jr. is a great speaker, a lot better than Eric. Yeah, I think my chat, we like Eric, actually. We're Eric fans. We like Eric Trump. Eric is not what he's not as popular. Remember, I mean, he had a good speech, Eric did, at the RNC. Charlie Kirk just turned 30. Wow, so he might not even be eligible to run in 2028. 2016 version of Trump was far more ruthless. Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a different time in 2016. I think Trump has a lot more knowledge of how the system works than he had in 2016, so he doesn't say certain things. Trump should try a Southern accent. I mean, it works with Kamala. Rogan is having yeah, you're trolling me, bro. You gotta stop. Eric is an absolute, yeah, Eric is the Chad of the family. I don't know, they say Barron is, I guess. I mean, I'm friends with Barron. I mean, we're like in the same age range. I'm like his big brother. No, I think Barron is, he's at college somewhere in New York. I'm not going to do an IRL stream, dude. I think those are cringe. I mean, I would do a video about it, not a stream. Yeah, I mean, I guess those electors, the electors could really mess it up if they just get over 270. You are right. But I mean, at that point, dude, it would be such a fucking mess. Trump destroyed Jeb. Well, Jeb was just not cut out for it, man. I mean, some people are just not cut out for the job. They're just not cut out for it. It is what it is. Butler is this weekend. I know it's on Saturday. Dude, that's going to be a fucking sick rally. So Trump is doing that rally at 5 o'clock. I looked at the weather. It's perfectly sunny. So it's going to be like the sunset. I mean, it's going to be it's an interesting time to do a rally too. From what you saw 2016 and 2024, which campaign was more crazy? Well, I mean, the assassination attempt kind of brings it. The fact that they all want Trump dead is a little bit different in 2024. I mean, but certainly people would say Trump had better, zingers and was more open in terms of hating on people in 2016. Barack W., can we talk about how Harris and Walz offer absolutely nothing to the country except negativity? Well, yeah, I mean, Harris is just an extension of Biden anyways. It's the same administration. You're not getting anything different. They're like, we'll never go back. It's the same exact thing. What are you talking about? Walz looked nuts during the debate. He couldn't control his emotions. He's just not a good debater. He's not a good debater. And you could tell. Is Trump doing one in Butler just to spike the libs? Well, no, it's great publicity because it reminds everyone of the assassination attempt that he survived and he looked like a hero. It's amazing publicity. So it's going to be good news coverage. Little Marco. Remember when Marco had to get a drink of water and they made fun of him for it? Dude, Marco was like sweating and trying to get all the words out, and then he had to he just gulped down water. It was a cup of water, though. It was a glass. I mean, give me something 4% crypto. Yeah, Trump ain't mentioning crypto. Come on. Tax queen? Lion Ted. Dude, do you remember when Trump fixated? There was the Iowa caucus and Trump fixated on Ted Cruz calling like Ben Carson. I don't know, something about like calling Ben Carson people and telling them you can't vote for Ben Carson because he's not on the ballot or something. He just kept saying that. I remember that. He said it for like 3 weeks straight. He said that because Cruz was his biggest, nemesis. He was fighting Cruz. Cruz was the #1 challenger to Trump after Jeb. We knew Jeb was. Will Benny Johnson run in 2028? Come on, Benny boy, really? Did Benny Johnson say he wants to run? Yeah, FEMA's out of money. They spent it all on illegals. Imagine it. I gotta look into that story, though. You're waiting 10 minutes. I mean, I had to set it once to like 5 days, man. I had to set it to 5 days once before people could chat. But now that the chat's off the screen, they can't really do anything. Kamala will run again in 2028. It doesn't matter. She would not have any chance. If she loses now, she's not going to do shit. She's not winning any nomination for the Democrats in 2028. Please clap. That was a sad moment. You got to feel bad for Jeb about that. I do remember Trump talking about Cruz's dad being the Zodiac killer, yes. Megyn Kelly, remember the debate with Megyn Kelly in Cleveland? You've called women fat pigs, disgusting animals. Only Rosie O'Donnell. It was, and then Megyn Kelly was like, it was much more than Rosie O'Donnell. I don't know why I remember that much of that. You've called women you don't like disgusting, fat pigs, disgusting animals. Only Rosie O'Donnell. Dude, there was a really funny edit of the 2016 elections with Grimace. Has anyone seen that? I wonder if that got deleted off YouTube. I used to have that liked, but that was on an old YouTube account. It was like with Grimace and Trump. It was a 2016 edit. God, I wish I'd be able to find that. You're glad Virginia's being talked about? Yeah, Virginia, it's definitely being talked about more than it was in 2020. Candace Owens, there's no way. Candace for president, it's not going to happen. Is this guy reading anyone's message or just people that pay? Well, did you pay? Well, no, people just donate because they want to donate. I just read most of the messages anyways. I know there's that Grimace Mets thing. I saw that. How much money is Putin giving me per week? That's undisclosed. He's actually paying me in Ethereum. So it's a little bit. He's actually paying me in XRP. Some dumbass stems on Twitter keep saying Florida and Texas are in play. Well, they're desperate. They're very desperate, of course. They need the map. I mean, they've lost the map. They had it in 2016. They had it in 2020. They've lost it now. I'm getting a YouTube to do polling for different swing states, MLB playoff teams. Well, that's it. That's interesting, man. If Jeb would have won, U.S. would have. Yeah, there would be a war in the Middle East with the United States involved with Jeb. But Jeb had no chance from the start. Trump, yeah, I know that was a great diss about Rand Paul. Well, he's like, first of all, I mean, there was like 12 of them on the stage. He's like, first of all, why is Rand Paul up here? There's far too many people here anyways. He's getting less than 1% in the polls. And then Rand was getting nothing. I don't know why they had that many people up there. Well, yeah, if anyone wants the Discord link, I'll share it with you. I'll put the updated Discord link in the chat if anyone else wants it. You like Rand Paul more than Trump? I mean, I certainly don't. But Rand he's decent. He went after he wants to go get Fauci apparently. You know, I have I have a Lego Twin Towers as well. I forgot Trump calling Rand Paul ugly. Unsubbing Big Head. How will I ever live? Now I only have let's check, 181,000. That's oh man, that's gonna be hard. I'm just having fun, man. Am I a big Jim Jordan guy? I mean, Jim Jordan, I guess, is better than most of them. At least he tries to investigate things. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and I'll send the link at the end of it. You like Ron Paul? Yeah, a lot of true conservatives love Ron Paul. Yeah, there's no way Candace would ever be on a ticket, ever. A Republican ticket. I mean, she probably has huge issues with Republicans as well. Those people tend to have issues with Republicans. Am I going live tomorrow? Probably not. I'm going to see Joker 2. Will there be another attempt on President Trump's life? I hope not, but with the way the propensity we've seen them, there probably is going to be another one before the election. Let's stop having a corpse for president. Well, I think with Kamala, it's basically going to be the exact same thing, unfortunately. Are you going to make any videos on Utah hockey? Yeah, they didn't have a name. I saw that Utah hockey's, I think they're called the Hockey Club or whatever. Yeah, I've talked about how the Delta Center looks. It's real bad for hockey. That's why they're having to renovate it. Dougie has definitely taken back shots from Kamala a couple of times. Well, Doug is he seems like they portrayed him a bit ridiculous with him being he's the model for masculinity. Yeah, I saw the strike was over. They had a huge incentive to get that done with it being this close to the election. Probably would have went on longer if it was like 2022. I heard Joker 2 was awful. Yeah, I've heard there's some bad things about Joker 2. But I'm fine with it. If it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie. I don't really care. I've heard it's, you know, they made it into some bullshit, like they made it into some dance bullshit. Musical. Dance bullshit. It's a musical. Carrie Lake is our version of Stacey Abrams. Yeah, there are a lot of Trump supporters that are, I don't know about Trump supporters, but there are a lot of Republicans that like Trump that are turning on Carrie Lake because she can't win. That's the problem. If Trump wins Georgia and Pennsylvania, is that 270? No, it wouldn't be. He'd have to win another, I think he'd have to win, depending on the state, he'd have to win another swing state. He'd have to win probably 2 more unless the state is North Carolina. If he wins North Carolina and Georgia and Pennsylvania, then yeah, he wins. If you're talking about him already winning North Carolina. If Trump wins, can he end the Ukraine war? Well, I mean, I can't say for sure he'll end it, but there's definitely a higher chance it will be ended if Trump is the president rather than Harris. Because Carrie Lake is a woman, and yeah, no, it's just she's very disliked apparently. I mean, you look at the polls, it is remarkable. I mean, you've got Trump up by 4, she's down by like 8. Now, I don't think there's going to be that much split ballot voting when it comes to the election, but it's going to be hard for her to win. Even if Trump wins by 4, it's going to be hard for her to win. She just doesn't win, yeah. Dude, I think I saw previews for Venom 3. That shit looks bad. I don't know, man. I think that's what it was. Is there any updates on the Ryan Ruth you're talking about? Yeah, well, dude, there should be an interrogation. When are we going to see the interrogation? Because he's alive. And that's what people were saying. Odds of Tester losing in Montana, very high. Very, very high. I think you could look at that, and to be honest, this will probably be a good reflection of it. Senate races. Yeah, this is kind of what's happened. Yeah. Dude, they got the wrong colors, man. God damn this. I know these are the old colors, but you can't be doing this. You can't be making Democrats red, Republicans blue. Looking forward to the election night stream. Yeah, it should be something, man. Should certainly be something. It'll be pretty crazy, I'm sure. Hopefully I'll be able to set up everything properly, and I mean, obviously we'll just have to see how the vote comes in, and I'll be watching on a side TV the networks and things. It hurts to look at because the colors are wrong, you're right. It's real bad. It's like, oh, this is how the colors used to be. Well, it's not. Come on. Can you do... I think Kane's probably got like an 85% chance, unfortunately, even with that debate. Cruz is at 81 right now. Wow, Kane is at 96. God damn. Can Trump win Virginia? That's the number one question of the night. I mean, I think he can win it. He's got like a 20% chance. What's Polymarket? It's basically 50-50 Trump-Harris, if that's what you're asking. Odds of Republicans retaining the House, I looked at that. It's like 40%. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this stream. I want to do like an hour and a half, so that's good enough for this one. But I'm probably going to see a movie tomorrow. I'm not going to stream it. I'll do a vlog. But no, I'm going to see a movie tomorrow, so there's not going to be a stream. And then I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to see what happens on Saturday. Got to go. Yeah, I got to go too. That's good timing, man. Trump president, Dems. Yeah, that's honestly the most accurate probably prediction you would see, unfortunately. But that would be a real damper if they. I mean, I guess beggars can't be choosers. You want Trump to win any means necessary, but a Democratic House would be annoying for Trump to deal with, to implement everything. Brown or Moreno, I think Moreno will win. It's very hard to see Moreno doing 8 to 10 points worse than Trump. It's not going to happen. Trump wins but loses. They lose both chambers. Well, I mean, technically that's not doomsday because you still have Trump, but it'd be basically impossible for him to do anything. Yes, guys, have a good night. That's going to do it for this stream. You know what? If you stay on, I'll get the